sisters to this space. I invoke the universal God into this space. We are here as a vessel to birth elevation and collective unity. Right now, we're just thinking about truth, balance, order, morality, justice, and reciprocity. Deep breath in. Pull it out. Deep breath in. Shine bright. Everybody stand up. Touch the sky. Fan out. If you open your eyes, you'll see you're all in the form of Maya. Okay, let's get started. No, that's good. You good. But you know I'm blind, so how I do this again?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
There.
All right. Oh, no, I'm blind. Okay. So let's first introduce ourselves.
I'm Stacy.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Stacy. I am 52 years old. I was born and raised in Oakland. I work as a substance abuse counselor. I have 5 children. I recently lost my only daughter, who was the oldest of the 5, the 6. So I have lost 2 children, one when he was 1 in 89. And yeah, so I am working through grief to the best of my ability. And working through the struggle of it to build character.
What brings you here?
What brings me here is to have two granddaughters, two grandsons, and I would like to give them more values, more morals than I did with my 5 children, 6 children. To get to now to my 6th child. Yeah. So I can be more, and I don't like the word. I don't like saying I'm not perfect. To me, that I don't need to say that because you know that.
All right.
And when I say that, to me it puts me down. I'm making an excuse for what it is I'm doing. Well, I'm not perfect, so that's like giving me an excuse. So I don't say that. What I say, I'm perfect in my imperfections. Nobody can make my perfect mistake. So I am here to work through and accept my mistakes and offer to my children and my grandchildren so that they can see that we are only humans, we're entitled to mistakes, and struggles are to strengthen us, to make us more courageous, more determined, and more well-rounded. So, and to meet new people and to get new ideas on life.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Everybody, come on, we gonna have to participate. We gotta participate. So participation is mandatory. Okay. Ms. Shruti.
Hey,
Hey, Ms. Shruti. Introduce yourself.
my name is Gertrude, but they call me True. I am called True. I drive for a living. I have 3 children. I'm here to enhance my spiritual life and to know more about my African heritage and be able to give it to my children, which I have 3 children and 8 grandchildren. Love me dead. That's about all I have to say at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
My name is Gwendolyn. Hi, Gwendolyn.
Hi, Gwendolyn.
Winky. And I believe that I am perfect in God's eyes. I think we all are. I'm here.
No, tell us a
I'll
little
tell you
bit about yourself.
I'm not really good at telling people about myself. I like to keep a very low profile
Not
and
today.
keep me to myself.
Not
I
today.
like to enjoy me.
Not today.
But I work at the moment. I'm working. I plan to retire at the end of the year. I work for Kaiser, and I have a child, as you well know.
No, we don't.
And, you know, I have a boy. He's an old boy. I had him when I was 45. I'm now 64.
Wow, you look good.
So I'll be retiring at the end of the year.
Yes.
And hope to do some spiritual work when I do that. And another thing that I'd like to do is provide healing, because I do a Reiki for people in need. And I'm here because I thought it'd be a good idea to read this book with my group of women.
My name is Paula Brown.
Hey, Paula Brown.
I work in the office for a living, but that's not what I want to do with my life. I did learn about Mayat years ago, and I read her 42. That's what I call it, the 42. And she keeps me in line. I'm temperamental at times about injustice, social injustice. Very, very temperamental. And she keeps me from saying things that I should not say that I may regret down the road. She really does. You know, I mean, to me, I personified her. But I want to do more than that. You know, I want to be ready to help my community. And but I don't know what I want to do. I just know that I'm good with children, and I talk to children. I talk to my children and teach them about the things that I have learned in spirit, and teaching my granddaughter. I dream. My dreams are very vivid, very lucid, very. And some people might say I need to take medicine, but I see spirits. I do. And sometimes, a lot of times I don't tell people that I see because I don't want to get people alarmed if I see somebody pass by them or something like that, you know. But I'm very empathic, and sometimes I don't like to be around crowds too much because I can feel them. And sometimes it overwhelms me to where I'm exhausted. And I won't talk, I get quiet, and I become withdrawn because of that. But this is nice. I like this.
So what brings you here?
Well, I want to learn more about Maya, you know, because I know it's deeper than what I have learned so far. I want to go deeper than that, you know, and then apply it in my life. That's what I want to do. And then when I do, I want to burst out, you know, and be able to touch everybody else with it too.
Right.
You know, 'cause everything that I do, I try to do it with love. I do. I always have love on my mind, whatever I do, even if it's just copying a piece of paper. It has to be done with love. I want to do it right, you know. So that's all I wanted to say. That's me.
What? I'm just a
No,
seeker.
first tell us a little bit
Oh.
about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a second generation from Oakland, born and raised here. Traveled around the world quite a bit, lived overseas for 19 years, came back to Oakland, became a social justice playwright, actor, and poet, opened a store. I work as an anti-trafficking abolitionist. The store serves survivors of trafficking, young artists and creatives, because a lot of times they're financially precarious. So I serve homeless youth, homeless women, and I engage them in holistic health. And I don't really have programs. I do holistic health, and I do creative processes with them. And so I give them things to do, like I'm like, you do it. And we just had a big show here called Ceremony. It was a fashion ritual, and basically it was an arc of Black women into this country and then into a healing zone. And they did everything pretty much, like start to finish. I hired 30 young brown and Black artists, paid them, and it pretty much changed everything. Launched a magazine, a clothing label, had the fashion show, and a website, like all in the same day. So I do stuff like that with them. So now we're doing costuming, and I don't know, see what happens and stuff. So it's a lot.
And what brings you here?
I'm a seeker. I'm a healer in the community, and they call me Mama Reg, and have a lot of babies in the community, and I'm just a seeker. You know, I'm not like a religious kind of person. I did grow up Christian, but I just want to know. I want to know what my ancestors did, and I just want to know what my ancestors did. That's what I want to know. So that's what I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Queentecia Young. I am born and raised in Oakland. I'm in San Francisco, excuse me. I am, my family's been out here for 4 generations that I can count back and research, you know, which is really big for me. I came to Oakland.
You hot? Want the air conditioning on?
Oh, you got air conditioning?
Uh-huh.
I might be just having one.
It's just a flash.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might be just having one.
You want it on for a little bit?
You want some water?
Here, just finish.
Oh, look, Stacy got a fan. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna get it together. That's what I feel saying. Okay, so I came to Oakland with my mom when we were when I was 11,
From where?
from San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, San
So,
Francisco.
so I have 3 generations born in San Francisco. So my grandmother, my great grandparents, my grandparents, and my parents all went to the same junior high school and high school. So far we go back. So we came here because my mother was running from domestic violence. And we thought at that time this was further enough away, right? And I've been here ever since. I love the Bay Area. I love the Bay Area, but I love Oakland. I love Oakland. And so I have 1 child, 25-year-old child, and a 6-year-old granddaughter. I am a recovering addict. I am a survivor of domestic violence. I am a survivor of sexual trauma and molestation. I am a survivor of human trafficking. I am a community advocate for African American trauma. It's a big deal for me, right? And I think it started, I am naturally a fixer, right? Naturally a fixer. I'm born a fixer. And as I've gotten older, I've learned how to use that as my gift. That was my gift, right? So I'm a large advocate for every type of trauma that we suffer from. You know, I have learned that it's very much generational. So what brings me here is that just after so many therapy groups and so many classes and so much education, what I realized is what got me to the place that I am today is finding out where I came from. You know, I remember that I thought that my lineage started in after we got here, right? Just once we got to the Americas. Like that was as far as I could go back. And what I realized over time is that I go back so much further than that. I go back all the way to the now. You know, how big is that? When in school, when it was in history and they talked about the Nile Valley, I did not know they would talk about me because they didn't tell me. You know, and so I don't want that to be my granddaughter's story. That is very important to me. So I don't have a religion. I feel that my universal God, whoever put me here, makes sure that I have everything I need. Long as I do good, I do His good in everything I do to the best of my ability. And that's just how I think about it. You know, I remember growing up, people would say, you know, you too nice, or you too this, but I tell my son this all the time. I've never been hungry. I never not had a place to sleep. I never not had no food. I never not had clothes on my back. And it's based on how I treat the world, regardless of how it treats me, right? And so as you continue to do research, what I found out is that was my act all along, but nobody told me that, right? So I think, and when I talk about African American trauma, it always leads me back to this, you know. So back to, you know, really why I decided to do this is because if we're a group of a community of people that are morally bankrupt, then we can expect more out of the world than what we put out. So, you know, and it's not saying anybody's right or wrong, it's that we don't know until somebody tells you, right? It's like, you know, it's like your credit. If you in your home and don't nobody talk about financial responsibility, everybody gonna have bad credit. That's just, it just is gonna happen. You gonna do what the people do. You gonna steal from Peter to pay Paul. But if the conversation starts about financial literacy, it may not change drastically, but over time it will change. And then you will have a community of people who are financially responsible. So that brings us to why we're here, right? So I want to read something before we start to look at this. We're going to read the pages first, and then so because everybody didn't finish their homework, I'm going to put that off until our next meeting, because that's something that we're going to read together. Because I think it's really, what is important is that you know 42 qualities about yourself. So if you don't know who you are, then it's really hard to find out if you morally running in the world right. If you have some balance, if you are of truth, right? And if you not, then how do you get there? Because I know it used to be one of my qualities a long time ago was I was a liar and a thief, right? I may have not did it to some people, but I did it to others. So it ain't no if or and. Either you pregnant or you ain't, right? So if I am that, so is it okay with me to be a liar, right? It don't matter if it's okay to you, because I don't really care. What you think of me is not my business. It's what I think of me, right? So if I'm a liar, how do I get to becoming a truthful person? If I'm a thief, how do I get to becoming a person of integrity? So that was the reason for the 42 qualities, okay? So I want to hope that me explaining why that was important, because as I sat and thought about how do we get to know each other, how do we get open with each other, how do we get to a place to where we can absorb truth, and what I found about myself is that I can only absorb it if I'm truthful with me. Because if I'm lying to y'all here the whole time, then guess what? I didn't get shit, because I'm still a fucking liar when I leave. Okay? So I've been here, I've sat here for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 weeks, and I ain't did nothing. And that's why it's not a book club, or that's why it's a study group, and that's why it's an elevation group, because I don't want to come in here like, I don't want to leave here like I came. I think that's where the value comes from. My life is too valuable for me to keep bopping my head, you know, right? My time is valuable, right? I'm not going to be, so I don't want to come into this world. I want to come into this world as somebody and leave with more and give more than what I leave with. You understand what I'm saying? So that was so I want to explain that. So the other thing that I asked was that we read the introduction, so we will read that together today. And then we kind of went over what we're willing to achieve, but I want you to really think about mentally, what do you want out of this group? This is your space. This is our space, right? What do we want so that we can come to, so everybody gets something, get a little bit of what they came for, right? Spiritually, what do you want? So everybody, if you give spiritually, you will receive abundantly. I just learned that, man, and it's just amazing. And when you do that, you get this openness, because you don't know where your blessings coming from. You don't know what a person gonna say when they get truthful and they work and the spirit is working, right? So I want you to really think about that, and I want to say this again. Participation is mandatory, because you can't give and not receive, and you can't receive without giving. Then the other part of that was to look over the 42 laws of my, and we're gonna go over those today too. We got about an hour left, so we're gonna go over those today too. So just going over so you can kind of hear it, right? And then start to think about what do those things mean to you. This is not about, you know, oh, I thought about this, man, and my friend was like, just be yourself. So when I did it, I was like, oh, am I virtuous? You know, am I honored? I got in my head when this whole thing is like, what is virtue? And am I honoring that, or am I ain't? It's real simple. It's not, don't think it through, don't kind of contemplate. It's real simple. You either is or you ain't. And if I'm not, then let's talk about how we get there. Okay? I benefit with gratitude. That means when you benefit for somebody, you be grateful. Be grateful in that. It might be that the person stopped you while you was crossing the road, even though the light was about to turn red or green. They didn't hit you. So give them the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Because what happens is it starts this tornado of that give back, right? So we're gonna go over those things. I can't do it. Okay. I tried to tell people don't do it. Don't do it like that. The other thing is we're going to go over the reading today. And then I would like everybody to just write a little bit about what you got out of the reading. What did you get out of it? If you didn't get nothing, say you didn't get nothing. If it made you angry, say the shit made you angry. If you thought it was incorrect, so that's what, and I keep using this language because I want people to, this is the place where you get honest with what's going on. When you're reading about this, you can get angry, you just be yourself. Because if you come in here and you don't be yourself, you ain't gonna get nothing. You just ain't. Because I don't know how to deal with the three different, because then you three different people all at the same time. And, we can't get nowhere. Can't get nowhere. People used to tell me, you're a Gemini, you two different people. No, I ain't. I just ain't being honest with you right now. No, real talk. Real talk. I'm trying to think of your feelings and not, No, my time is too friggin' valuable. Life is too damn short. And y'all older than me. So I know y'all there. Because I realize, if it ain't add value to my life, if it ain't important enough, I just ain't spending my time on it. I just ain't doing it, right? Okay. So I wanted to read this because it really spoke to me. So I read this Ayana Banzai every day, right? And I didn't read it today for some reason. Usually I'm reading, but I had a very busy day at work. The people's running me crazy. And what happened was I wasn't supposed to read it this morning. I was supposed to read it this evening. And I said that when I walked in. I said, oh, I was supposed to read this. Because I try to not worry about when, if, where. I try to stay in the moment. Like this moment right here is friggin' awesome. I don't know what the next moment gonna be like. I just can't worry about it right now. I just gotta stay right here. And so this is today, October the 6th. There are 4 rungs in a ladder of success. Plan purposefully, prepare prayerfully, proceed positively, and pursue persistently. And that is an African American folklore. So it's an African American, thing that they say.
What's up, the 4 P's?
The 4 P's. Mm-hmm. And so it says, in everything you do, have a purpose. Make sure the quality of your intent is one of truth, honor, and love. Prepare to pursue your purpose with prayer. Ask for guidance protection, and direction. Ask that closed doors be opened and that the purpose of those that remain closed be revealed. Give thanks for your answered prayers by proceeding without any doubt. Keep your purpose in mind. Trust the guidance you receive. Have faith in your ability to succeed. And accept all that comes your way. If your purpose is clear, your prayers backed by faith, your outlook sure and positive, never, never look back. You may meet forks and turns in the road, but your obstacles shall all be removed. And we're going to say this together. I'm going to say it first, and then we're going to move on. I am planning with purpose.
I am planning
with purpose.
Preparing with prayer.
Preparing with prayer.
Proceeding positively and persistent.
Proceeding positively and persistent.
Pursuit of my goal.
Pursuit of my goal.
Now that's why I wasn't supposed to read that this morning, because it wouldn't have had the same impact for me had I read it this morning as it has right now. After we prayed, after we asked for positivity and guidance, after we did all these things, right? After we asked why we was here, see, it just gave a whole different trajectory. So yeah, that was good. That was good. Okay.
What's the name of that book?
Girl, I don't know, this book's so old. I think I went through it about 16 times. So I'm one of them people that have a book, and if it's good, feel good to me, and I get a lot out of it, it stays on my bookshelf. I go through about 16 times.
The daily reflection.
This is Acts of Faith.
Acts of Faith. Yeah.
Acts of Faith. Okay, so for those who have a book today, for those who don't, you want me to come up there? I'll come over here with you. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right, I'm coming. So we're going to open the book to the to page 187. And
You want the stool? Sit over there?
I'm good. I probably need to stand because my legs hurt.
187.
187. And we're going to read through these 2 pages, and then we're going to go over the 42 laws of Mott. And then we'll be wrapping up. It'll be almost time to wrap up, and the last thing I want to go over is I want to go. Then we can look over some ground rules for our group. Okay? I think we'll be able to get some law up in there somewhere, right?
Okay.
Okay, sound good? Everybody in agreement?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Okay, y'all want me to start?
I'll start.
Oh, thank you, Miss Ruth. Hey.
Since I said the lesson here already.
We open it up, Miss Trudy. Go on, girl.
Guiding principles of moral living. We all seek guidance in one way or another from others on how to handle various situations and make decisions. When questions of morality are involved, right and wrong, good and bad people are often directed to sources outside of themselves. Over 6,000 years ago, is that Kemet?
Yes.
Recognize that most of what we need to get through life with purpose and meaning already exists within our hearts. We simply have to learn basic moral principles and how to honestly listen to ourselves. And while there are so many things that are out of our hands, there's a lot that we can, there is a lot that we control, namely who we choose to become and how we respond to the situations. I highlighted that.
That was very powerful, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Everybody agree
Yes.
that was so. When I first read Ma'at, so I started Ma'at through meditation.
Mm-hmm.
When I first read that, I was like, I got control over how the world work with me. That was just so
Profound.
It was profound, but then I was like, you got to be kidding me. Right? And then as I meditated more and practiced more, I realized my world shifted. I was like, well, God, dog it. Slap me in the head with a box. Okay.
For thousands of seasons, indigenous African populations developed life, culture, language, education, science, morality, government, and a system of justice reflective of a high level of moral integrity. Kemet, an indigenous African civilization, covered the longest time span of any civilization known to history. Its monuments are the most massive and longest lasting. Its records, chiefly in stone, were carved into mountains and burrowed in great underground temple structures. Extensive in time and massive in the volume of their architecture are the remains of Kemetian civilization.
Mm-hmm.
The earliest of these fragments date back more than 8,000 years. Given that African knit civilization lasted so long, several thousand years, conceptions of the cycle of life changed over time. The ancients' understanding of the world stemmed from study of their environments as well as records bequeathed them from prior generations. They documented their observations over time and recorded advanced understandings, doctrine, philosophy, theory, methods, and practices on virtually everything that could be carved, painted on, or otherwise built.
Okay, I want to say something. So, if you notice when you see a pyramid or a Kemetic or Egyptian artifact in a museum, you notice there's no empty space, right? There's no, so you don't see what I mean by that is, let's say this is the space, right? Thank you, Juan. See how that wine helped out? Thank you, Juan. Okay, so you know how you, let's say that this is a glyph, right? A stone, right? You notice it's covered to its intensity in every little space.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That's
They
right.
they don't leave no space.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because what I've learned is because everything, when they were writing stories, they were writing what was happening while the story was being happening, they were writing what the environment looked like, and they were writing about people. So they utilized everything that they had. So that's why, if you notice, if they done broke them and did all kind of stuff, but every little inch of stone, they wrote on everything. They never left any space. It's not like how we write, right? Because everything was unity. It was continuous. And I learned that after doing a little study. Because I was wondering, well, why they ain't got no periods? Right? Or why, they don't, if that was that chapter, why did they start? Because everything was continuous. I just want to point that out. Just want to point that out. Okay. All right.
You want me to keep reading?
If you feel like it.
The ancients developed a moral system that reflected a deep understanding of the cycle of life and the interconnectedness of all things. Through keen observation and study of various plants, for example, the ancient Kemetians gained an appreciation of the life cycle. A seed grows and develops in a proper environment and at a certain point dies. However, in the process of dying, new seeds are produced, which lay the foundation for the continuation of the plant's life. Their varied experiences led them to continue observing, studying, understanding, and learning their environment, which in turn gave rise to their attempts to both adapt to and charge elements of their environment.
So,
their system of morality naturally stemmed from an understanding of an appreciation for life and the cycle it undergoes. As something is born, so it dies. As it is created, it is destroyed. As it comes into being, it goes out of existence. During the course of life, all phenomena leave an imprint which is preserved in later generations. The quality of each imprint reflects the moment in history that produced it, if prevailing conditions promoted its success, and its determined effort to ensure its reproduction on a higher level preserved in later generations. In every area, our ancients left solid lessons to live by. We should return to our own source, start anew, be born again.
So that was, for when I read that, that was like, that really stuck out for me. Because I had to read before y'all was reading to figure out where we was going to go, right? And it's a lot, this book is a heavy book. It can be very heavy. But what stuck out for me is that this part spoke more to what Mayat really stands for, right? And the part about the seed, how it grows, it dies, but it leaves these other seeds to continue, so they grow and they leave these other seeds. And what it reminded me of is how us as women have children, right? We have this seed, we die, and then we leave these seeds here, and then they have these seeds, and then they die. And so that is the continuance of the life cycle, right? And it's all in how we groom the seeds.
Nothing is wasted.
Nothing is wasted.
That's why I like fall so much. I even wrote that down. Why I like fall so much, the turning of the trees would seem to be dying, but they're really not. They're just preparing for new life.
Right.
I just love it. And the leaves fall down on the ground and they enrich the soil. I mean,
Exactly.
nothing,
Interconnectedness.
nothing is wasted.
Nothing. Right. So that's why I chose this, and it was easy to grasp. Right. Well, you didn't really have to think about it. It was kind of like just right there. You was like, right, I can understand that. Okay. So I'll go ahead and finish up. This text offers moral guidance unfettered by religious doctrine, ideologies, and practices. For further explanation, read the prologue and the preface. We will not be doing that because it is a lot. It's very heavy.
It really is.
Very heavy. But I will print out some stuff that we will skim over. The guiding principles, ceremonies, and advice guidance are rooted in lessons of the past that have been modernized for appropriateness to the current moment in history for the purpose of resurrecting and redeeming the very best of who we are and can be. The guiding principles do not direct people to seek salvation or answers in anything or anyone other than themselves. For we know that both lie within us. We do not speak to the existence of a God or gods because the important work of transforming oneself and ultimately the world rests in the hands of those willing to carry that work out. Whether or not we believe in a God or gods is immaterial. It is not important. What is important is living a life with purpose and integrity. That one that allows us to know that in the end, when our lives have run their course and hearts have been weighed against a feather, we have been found worthy to stand in the company of great ancestors, the best of them, those who measured up in an earlier life. This is judgment. Life lived fully in truth, justice, fairness, balance, reciprocity, and accountability in this world. Beginning with our inner and moving to our outer self, we can rebuild ourselves and ultimately the world in such a way that the lives and humanity of African people are valued. The process of rebuilding the inner begins with establishing a strong moral foundation on which we can stand. With feet rooted firmly in morality and ethics, we may then more deeply understand who we are and what our purpose is, as well as soberly chart the path towards its fulfillment. Morality, the art of doing right for right's sake, is the heart of African rebirth. The main task of morality is to leave a good imprint on history so that for generations others will know a person's deeds. Essentially, then, this is the seed time, a time for collecting, sorting, and planting. Of course, what is sown will be reaped, but we must first sow good seeds. As a bridge, a portal, or a medium for transmitting the transcendental wisdom of our ancestors across centuries, we offer this text to those interested in learning ancient African principles of Mayat, with the understanding that the height of one's character is based on his or her own conduct in life. All right? So that was the reading. So, yeah, that's some good stuff right there. So, let's see what we got, y'all. Oh yeah, we doing really good. We doing really good. Okay. So, I want you guys to think about that, reread it, and just nothing over 150 words, right? And the reason why I said nothing over 150 words, because next week, we're going to focus on the homework. Everybody's going to tell 42 qualities about themselves. Yes, yeah, Miss Trudy. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. You could do it, Miss Trudy. Okay, Miss Trudy, you go find yourself today. And guess what? You go do that in the safety of people who love and care about you.
You know what my 42 laws, the ones that I first saw, the first thing it said was, I am without sin.
Yeah.
And that just stumped me right there.
Right. That's why I printed
I was
this one.
through. I said, what do they mean by that?
Exactly. Exactly.
It means that there is no sin.
So maybe before we get, so I wrote out a couple of ground rules that I want to cover because this is everybody's group, right?
Okay.
And one of the things that I want is that we all, if we respect the space that we working in, then the space will respect us, right? So I want to do that, but I think maybe we should read over these laws to make them a little bit more palatable for everyone. So, you got yours? There you go. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so the first one is, I honor virtue. I benefit with gratitude. I am peaceful. I respect the property of others. I affirm that all life is sacred. I give offerings that are genuine. I live in truth. I regard all altars with respect. I speak with sincerity. I consume only my fair share. I offer words with good intent. I relate in peace. I honor animals with perseverance. I can be trusted. I care for the earth. I keep my own counsel. I speak positively of others. I remain in balance with my emotions. I am trustful in my relationships. I hold purity in high esteem. I spread joy. I do the best I can. I communicate with compassion. I listen to opposing opinions. I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I am open to love in various forms. I am forgiving. I am kind. I act respectfully of others. I am accepting. I follow my inner guidance. I converse with awareness. I do good. I give blessings. I keep the waters pure. I speak with good intent. I praise the goddess and the God. I am humble. I achieve with integrity. I advance through my own abilities. I embrace the all.
So we can use some of them, 42. We can pick out some of them plus and get our own. If
Where you gonna get your?
I mean,
don't understand. Sorry.
so then we don't have to go find our 42. Our 42 is here.
Right there.
Right.
So the question was, what does that mean to you? So if I'm gonna use myself as an example. I honor virtue, right? So I advise everybody to get a dictionary, right? Because the reason why I had to get a dictionary because some of these words I knew, but I really know the meaning of it. Because that didn't kind of work in my world. You know what I'm saying? I'm keep it real.
Woman, huh?
I wasn't a virtuous woman. No, I was not. And I didn't invoke no laughter. And I need to say, I had to look up, what was the one what was the one? The first thing they told, what did them ladies say? I hold purity in high esteem. I needed to really understand what the heck that means. Like, what is purity? And what is high esteem? Like, with your high esteem may not be my high esteem. If my esteem ain't as high as yours, we're going to be like, you know what I mean? So I made an example with the first one is like, I honor virtue, right? So when I looked it up, I was like, the regard of that something is held to deserve. The importance, worth, and usefulness of something. So if something ain't of value to me, I'm liably not virtuous to it. I ain't honoring your virtue if you have no value. So I don't think you deserve it. I don't think you important. I don't think you worthy. And I don't think you useful at any point. I ain't virtuous to you. Because you ain't none of the things that add value. You're not valuable. Right? So then I was like, well, you know, that's a little hard on myself. I was like, I got it. That's what I do, y'all. I'll be really. So then I had to look it up, and then I went on to the second one, and it says, a person's principles or standards of behavior, right? One's judgment about what's important in life. And then it took me right back to the first one. So then, that's another law in here, right? That says, I am accepted, right? And then it was another one that said, I act respectfully of others. So then the word that stuck out for me, I was like, well, I don't respect you. Then I don't think you're important or valuable. So first I got to respect you to honor virtue in you. So that's how I kind of get to that. So that was just for me. What does honor and virtue? So then if I need to honor virtue in things, I first have to treat it respectfully, right? Then it turns into some value for me. It becomes important. Then when I start to do that, I am just looking at that person and that thing or that event or that situation, then I can honor virtue in it, even if it's not honoring virtue in itself. So if you don't think you're important, if I'm thinking you're important, I'm going to lead with love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's kind of how I did it. So I had to really break it down. So I might, if your head like mine, you might want to get a dictionary. I had to. I don't know about nobody. So that's how I did that. And then I benefit with gratitude. So you know how sometimes somebody give you something or do something for you and you really don't like it, or you really be like they were supposed to or did it. Don't nobody owe me crap, right? And when I'm not leading with gratitude, I'm actually being disrespectful, right? I'm not being of integrity, and I'm not being honest or truthful. So if you give me something, whether I like it, I can say I don't like it, but I appreciate it because it's from you. I appreciate it because you thought about me. But, next time if you think about me, you should call me first. Because then I may tell you that I don't need that. I just needed you to call me. Or I just needed you to say hello. So then we get to the truth. Then the relationship becomes more valuable. Right? Because now you don't feel like you got to give me something to show your appreciation. Because that's not really what I need. I need the love and the respect and the honor and the truthfulness and those things that help bring value to my life. Because that whatever you brought me ain't really going to be no, because in 10 minutes when you took it off the stove, the value went down. And that's kind of how my little brain works. So if that's just how I thought about how those 42 laws apply to me. What does it mean to me? So, use your own method, but just think about what they mean to you personally. Think about, so then it gets you to the point to where you think about how can we if we are not, right? So, so we gonna have to make a decision on how often we gonna meet right now. A couple of ground rules. And then we'll be wrapping up with a little game. Go invoke the answers. Because, this is fun. Look at this. We is not here to be no sass girls. Right. Okay. So what I came up with, a couple of things that, oh Lord, see. Okay. So one of the things I thought about when I thought about what are things I had to ask myself, if I went to a group, what would I want? What would make me feel safe? What would make me feel open enough to share my honest opinion about what I read, about what I want to say, without being judged or criticized? And things like that. Those are the things that came up for me when I was trying to come up with the rules. So I was only able to come up with 6, right? And I felt like that was too much. So I said, oh Lord, I'm taking this to the group. I ain't supposed to do this by myself. So I'll tell you guys what I got. And then we're going to come up with 3 rules other than being on time and leading with love. In everything you say or do. Even if you don't agree with somebody, thank you for saying that, but I choose to disagree. And here is why I feel different, right? We're going to use I statements, and we're going to lead with love at all times, right? Okay, so this is what I came up with. Listen to others and value the diversity in the opinions of those in the group. We ain't all gonna agree. We all different. And that's what makes this an awesome group. I just realized that when everybody was introducing and said, ain't none of us the same, this is gonna be so fun. So excited. Right, because then we get to hear how other people think. How exciting is that? How often do you get to do that? Ooh, this is gonna be good. Okay, that was number 1. So what y'all think about that?
That sounds like the whole spangle.
Go on, Miss Street, I see you over there doing the odd thing that you do.
That sounds pretty good to me.
But,
I'll have a butt.
okay. Anybody? Add anything, take anything away? All right, so number 1 stays. Number 2, agree to disagree. Respect the differences. There is no right or wrong, no good or bad opinions.
I love that.
Okay, then number 2 stays. Number 3, be true.
Wait. Oh, you waving at somebody.
Business owners.
The busy little street.
Yes.
Yeah. Regina famous over here.
I would have never
I'm gonna have
thought.
to get you some blackout windows.
But they can't see me when I turn, I'm in here with the lights, they can't see.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know if I wanna turn the lights on.
That's fine.
No.
They
No, it's okay. I
Yeah.
just, when I'm here, they can't see.
Okay, number 3, be truthful with yourself and the group.
Mm.
Be open-minded and think critically. So, don't always agree. How we're gonna learn from each other, I think, is that anytime that I'm learning from somebody is when they provoke me to think critically. Now, it ain't just my way. Other people, so I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but that's number 3.
So I'm gonna be able to stop you when I feel I need to stop you and say, wait a minute.
In a respectful way, you go wait till I finish and say, you know what, I don't agree. Yes,
I beg
please.
to differ.
I bet, or however you want to say it, but yeah, definitely. If we all agree and we all in here, something ain't right.
That's right, something's wrong.
Something ain't right.
But we all different.
We all did, exactly. Okay. Number 4, only one group member speaks at a time.
Well, that's
Oh, yes, of course.
right. That reminds me of that debate, those two
Oh, Lord, girl.
so-called vice presidents, just kept talking over each other, just made me lose interest.
Yeah, I wound up turning the channel after that. It was too much interruption.
It's too much.
They just interrupted each other too much.
You couldn't even hear one another's point.
So that's an example right there.
That is an example. I felt like that was the kids. I felt like I was at the preschool and I was saying, no kids, wait. One part, I was like, what is this? But anyway, that's my own crap. And number 5, silence all cell phones.
My phone never rings. Never.
Is that a point? And maybe we
Yes,
should
it
call.
rang twice while I was here.
Oh,
Now one ring.
now they want to call you. That's right. That's what
It was Erica of all people.
It was. She called me too because she knew we all was here. That's why I said we can't talk.
Erica
She
wanted to come to this?
I think so. So y'all got
She
to
tried to
pick
see.
her up.
I
Trying
couldn't
to
pick her
see-
up.
I could have picked her up, yeah.
But
Fireplace.
this sometimes what I've learned is people will say, "Oh, I don't want to do that." What y'all? And when it happens, they like, "Well, maybe I should."
It'd be good for Erica.
I think it
Later
would.
next time.
It would be
She
good
was
for
calling and
She was
how
trying to
it was
video
going.
chat. She was trying to video chat.
Oh my
And she
goodness.
texted me this morning.
Oh my
So that was the
goodness.
spirit talking. So, okay.
Oh.
These are her
You
aunties.
should have told us.
No, I'm telling you now. Okay. No, but you can't put it on vibrate because I understand that emergencies do happen and this is the land on the cell phone. But just don't have it on ring.
My phone dead anyway.
And the number 6 is always lead with love.
Lead or leave?
Lead. Because if you lead with love, you're going to lead with love because we just going to be sharing. It's going to be bouncing off the wall. Okay, so that's what I got.
Well,
Everybody.
you got some
Oh,
ground
shoot.
points.
Yeah.
You got some ground points.
Oh, yeah, I got to tone the happy
That's a
dance
strong
music now.
foundation, yeah.
Okay, so how often do you guys want to meet? So we can meet. We can meet bi-weekly or once a month.
Well, how long do you think it's gonna, how many of these do you think we're gonna need to get through the
I don't know.
material?
I'll be able to tell you next week. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I am with preparation of getting the assignments ready and getting all the paperwork, I got to about, I just got to a little bit after what we read. And I've been reading, I got my book way before you guys did. And I have when we come next week, I'll be bringing a template that the authors gave me, because they do this group all over the East Coast. They do it in a convention, and like a big convention setting. They do different little workshops, and so they emailed me a template that they use to help you get your ideas on paper and everything, because it's it can be a heavy read. So I am thinking after I talk to Miss Regina. I'm thinking no more than 12 weeks. 12 weeks. So that means this one class is 1 week, right? Okay. And then the next class will be week 2. And regardless if that's in 2 weeks from today or in 30 days, 1 month from today.
So what about twice a month? If twice a month? Twice
a month can work. I'm going to tell you like this. This book has 13 chapters. And each chapter has about 10 to 12 sub-chapters in it, right? So as I'm reading before you guys, I am going to pick out things that are particularly relevant to what we're trying to do here, right? I listen. One of the things for me, I listen to what everybody's saying, what they want out of the group, what they're here for. That's why I ask those questions, right? Because I want to try to honor that in the best way that I can. So, anywhere between 12 and 16 weeks. That's kind of where we at. So, think about that for a little minute while I find the happy dance music. And let's make a decision on how often we're going to meet.
Well, the boutique is open to you as long as you.
I know.
I know. That's what it's for.
I know.
Yeah. So.
And that's why I love you.
And then it's just that, Frank has
his man's thing. Yeah. Oh, now I bet you he gonna I bet you the fire lit now. So my cousin. Oh, okay. Let me tell you. So you know the gentleman who cooked for us at Terry's graduation party? That's my cousin. You guys know that, right? That's her significant other. So he decided he wanted to do a group here on Thursdays too. But he like to fight me for the space. Because he should start.
Opposite.
What kind of group you want to do?
A men's group.
Oh. Yeah, because I have men's circles here.
Wow.
Because a lot of men asked me, could the men invite me? And I was like, no. Sorry. This women's space, maybe after we have our first cycle, then maybe I could think of something that y'all can do. But no, not gonna be able to do it. Well, can I at least buy the book? Of course you can. Right? But that's just not where I'm at in my life today. I ain't got that kind of balance yet. I ain't supposed to bleed no men into a brick wall. Because if you mess with me, I'll lead you to a brick wall and now brick wall. That wasn't